Minister of Foreign Affairs and Law of Singapore K. Shanmugam paid a courtesy call on President Maithripala Sirisena at the Presidential Secretariat today.
Singapore's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Law K. Shanmugam had applauded the new proposals implemented by the new government of Sri Lanka. The visiting minister had said that the new policy framework enables the further strengthening of cooperation between Sri Lanka and Singapore. According to the President's media unit, the visiting foreign minister had praised the government's activities for the betterment of the people of the North and East. The Singaporean foreign minister, who reaffirmed Singapore's support to Sri Lanka in the international arena, also extended an invitation to President Sirisena to visit Singapore. The President's media unit went on to say that President Maithripala Sirisena has wished a speedy recovery for Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore's first Prime Minister. Meanwhile, the new commander of the Sri Lanka Army, Lieutenant General Krishantha De Silva, called on President Maithripala Sirisena today. Former Army Commander General Dayaratnaka also met with President Maithripala Sirisena today at the Presidential Secretariat.
Finance Minister Ravi Karnanayaka made a startling revelation today that the real nation debt burden is estimated to be 9.6 trillion rupees, albeit with contingent liabilities. The minister was speaking at a breakfast meeting organized by AmCham Sri Lanka or the American Chamber of Commerce in Sri Lanka.
We basically inherited an economy which had a 7.9 trillion debt. That was what we thought. But today, with contingent liabilities, we have a debt of around 9.6 trillion. We basically thought that FDIs were sufficient enough, but now we find that it was only government-oriented investments that were being brought in. And as a result, clouding out the monies that can be given to the private sector and putting a lot of pressure on the economy.
Professor Nalin De Silva says that Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has been appointed without a people's mandate. He made these comments while addressing a press conference convened by the National Power Organisation.
Firstly, I would like to state that the Prime Minister at present is not a legitimate Prime Minister. He is an individual who had pickpocketed the Prime Ministerial portfolio. Not a single person who cast their vote on the 8th of January intended to see Ranil appointed as the Prime Minister. If this commands so many votes, why did he not contest the presidential poll? Remember this, it was the presidential election that was held on the 8th of January, not the general election. The President has said that he's the head of the cabinet. That's okay, but the cabinet will not change along with the replacement of its head. There is no mention of such a thing under the constitution. Ranil continues to hold the prime ministerial post due to the condescending mannerisms of SLFP leaders.
6 police officers attached to the Suryavava police who were arrested over the death of a suspect in police custody have been remanded until the 4th of March. Meanwhile, a witness to the aforementioned incident was killed in a motor accident early this morning.
6 police officers who were arrested were produced before the district magistrate of Hambantota, Isuru Nethikumara, this evening. The magistrate ordered that the suspects be produced in an identification parade on the 4th of March.
The post-mortem examination has revealed that the death is a result of internal injuries caused by beating. A police sergeant and 5 constables had carried out the raid. The Special Investigations Unit of Hambantota had arrested them on manslaughter charges and unlawful assembly.
The death of the suspect, 35-year-old Leonarachi Samantha, led to the arrest of these 6 police officers. The deceased was arrested on the 19th in Viharagala for the possession of 11 illegal alcohol bottles. However, due to an illness, he was admitted to the Suryavava hospital and was later transferred to the Hambantota hospital. On the evening of the 22nd, the suspect died. Last night on primetime news, when Newsfirst aired this report, relatives and locals charged that Samantha was assaulted by the police.
We can recognize the assailants if we see them. 2 of them, who called themselves police officers, were wearing white caps.
This individual, who claimed that the assailants could be recognized, has provided a statement to the police last night. Unfortunately, while returning home from the police with 3 others in a 3-wheeler, he met with an accident which claimed his life. The three-wheeler had collided with a van early this morning.
A van was travelling at over 100 kilometers per hour. It knocked us, went away and stopped around 10 or 15 yards away. I fell onto one side. When I got back on my feet, the others were lying on the ground. A lorry came from behind. A young man in the lorry told me to load up the injured as they too were carrying a patient to Hambantota. I pleaded with him to take these people. We were taken to the Suryawava hospital. One person had already succumbed and others were taken to Hambantota.
Although there are suspicions over the witness's death in an apparent accident, the police media spokesperson says that there is no connection between both incidents.
මනුෂ්‍ය ඝාතනය සිදු කළ පොලිස් නිලධාරීන් ඒ වගේම මේ සිද්ධිය සහ අදාළ රියානතුර අතර කිසිම සබඳතාවයක් නැහැ.
This accident has no connection to the incident nor to the officers charged with manslaughter. However, there is one thing that needs to be said. A retired police constable had been driving the van which was carrying a heart patient to hospital. He was attached to the Ambalanthoda police. He had gotten behind the wheel as one of his neighbours had suffered a heart attack. It is this van that had collided with the three-wheeler.
හෘදයාබාධයක් ඇති වෙච්ච නිසා ඒ වෑන් රථය පදවලා තියෙනවා. ඒ වෑන් රථය තමයි මේ ත්‍රිරෝද රථය ගැටිලා තියෙන්නේ.
The police constable, who is incidentally the driver of the van, was arrested and produced before the Hambantota district magistrate. Court ordered for him to be remanded until the 6th of March. According to details ascertained over the ownership of the van, it has come to light that it belongs to a person from Kiriwava, Sevenagala.